Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Then you do favor the Templars, Your Grace?
I favor peace, which is not the goal of either side, I'm afraid.
That is more apparent every day.
I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Canary, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion too, if you will?
I am your humble servant.
You honor me. The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Could we keep the Exalted marching to a minimum? I keep all my stuff in Kirkwall.
Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the Exalted marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name. Only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand, sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Canary incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies!
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this.
Are you Sister Nightingale?
I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall.
Without informing the guards, of course.
This is an unconventional situation. I have some experience with those.
The Liliana, who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon.
Ah, I I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas.
Who are the Resolutionists?
An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi. There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here.
I appreciate you stepping in back there.
Of course. They mistook you for me, so they must know I am in Kirkwall. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group.
Like any mage with a brain can't come up with, let's rebel.
And prove the Chantry's point by unleashing demons. Don't forget that part.
This attack proves she is right.
Are you saying you set this whole thing up?
I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the mage troubles. It is how they chose to react, which condemns them.
Will the Divine send soldiers?
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Cunara invaded.
A handful of apostates. How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe.
None of you?
Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
Sister Nightingale says you must leave Kirkwall.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
Are you saying you will not flee?
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
Sister Nightingale took a great risk to warn you. Don't be rash.
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Elthina won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
The Grand Cleric is lucky to have your loyalty.
She'd be luckier were I willing to hit her over the head and carry her away. This isn't her battle. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Elthina will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well. I'm giving it all up. I made a vow to the Chantry, and it was wrong to turn my back.
Sebastian, listen to yourself. You're as impulsive now as the day you turned away from us. Do you think the Maker wants another rashly spoken vow that you'll abandon when the next passion takes you?
I will not...
This is your life, child. Don't spend it being blown about like a weather vane. But here's Hawke. Maybe you can talk some sense into him.
Is the Grand Cleric upset with you?
She thinks I'm fickle, but I mean it. It was wrong for me to break my oath to the Chantry. I've turned against the Maker. And for what? Why would I want to rule Starkhaven and deal with jackals like Lady Harriman for the rest of my life?
Do you see yourself as a prince or a priest?
That's exactly the question I've been praying for guidance about. When I think of going to Starkhaven, calling on allies like Flora Harriman and all the corrupt, scheming nobles, my throat swells shut in horror. When I think about staying, I'm at peace.
If you give it up, what then?
I suppose I must convince Elthina my commitment is sincere. Then I will remain here, to represent the Maker's interests as she thinks best.
You should ask what's best for your people, not just for you.
I do not have hubris enough to imagine it matters to the common people who rules them. Kirkwall does well enough with no one in the Viscount's seat. Someone will take the reins. The fields will be planted, the crops gathered. No one will notice that a Vale lives and isn't there, and I can devote my life to the Maker's will on Thedas.
Don't give up now. You defeated the Desire Demons. All of Kirkwall benefited.
Of everything we've done, I'll never regret that. But I don't know. I've been praying for guidance and had nothing. I cannot return to Starkhaven and subject my people to war without a clear sign that it's the Maker's will.
I hope you haven't come to try to talk me into leaving again. Kirkwall needs a steadying hand on its reins now more than ever. Orsino and the Knight Commander grow more fractious by the day.
There must be a way to satisfy both sides.
I pray you're right. I've been talking with them both. Orsino is not an unreasonable man. Surely a compromise can be reached. I hope you haven't come to try to talk me into leaving again.
So you've done well for yourself. I had my doubts the first time I saw you, but I guess there was something to that hawk fellow Leandra ran off with after all. You made a pretty good son anyway. Your mother would be proud.
I just wish Mother had lived to see me become champion.
I know Leandra, and she'd be absolutely glowing from all the praise that's been heaped on you. I don't say this often, but we're the only family we've both got left. For a long time, I thought the Amel line in Kirkwall would end at me. I'm glad you've pulled it out of the grave.
Come on, Daisy. You've been holed up in here for days. If you don't get some sunshine, you'll wilt.
I'm not a plant, Varric. I'm fine.
Just take a walk around the Lowtown Market. Get some air, and I'll stop bothering you.
I know you mean well, but I have too much to do right now.
I'll let you talk some sense into her, Hawk.
Varric is very sweet. Frequently infuriating and a terrible busybody, but sweet. Were you looking for me? Nothing's wrong, is it?
Nothing's the matter. I thought I'd see how you were doing.
And I'm being a poor host, as usual. In the market the other day, out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw Tamlin. I blinked, and he was gone. I don't know what it meant. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm going mad. I miss them all. Even the Keeper.
I'm sure the Keeper would like to see you again.
I'm sure she would. She loves to lecture. I bet her new first appreciates that. I wish I could have seen it. It doesn't matter. I'm here now. Maybe Varric was right. Shall we go out for a bit? I could use some sunshine. Is this for me? It's beautiful. Do you know what it is?
I only know that it was made by the Dalish.
It's Sylvanwood. Rare as diamonds. You only find it in very old, very wild places. The carvings tell a story of the betrayal. The dread wolf tricking all the gods away from the world.
Start at the beginning. What happened to the gods?
Long ago, there were two clans of gods. The Creators looked after the people. The Forgotten Ones preyed upon us. And one god who was neither. Fan Harel, the Dread Wolf. He was kin to the Creators, and in the old days often helped them in their endless war against the Forgotten Ones.
Why were they fighting?
No one knows. We barely even remember all their names, let alone who struck the first blow, who was wrong. Fan Harel was clever. He could walk among both clans of gods without fear, and both believed he was one of them. He went to each side and told them the other had forged a terrible weapon, a blade that would end the war. He told the Creators it was forged in the heavens, and the Forgotten Ones that it was hidden in the abyss. And when the gods went seeking it, he sealed them both in their realms forever. Now he alone is left in the world.
I imagine the Dalish don't depict the doom of their gods just for decoration.
Not exactly, no. This was made for a keeper, you see. Guarding a clan from the Dread Wolf is a keeper's place. It's a very sweet memento, thank you.
If you think that was bad, I should tell you about the Black Marsh.
See, when you say things like that, Blondie, it just makes me glad I didn't know you sooner. Who goes to a place named Black Marsh on purpose? Now, they called it Beer Marsh. No, still doesn't work.
You've got a point. The marsh part does cancel out anything else. Flower Marsh, Kitten Marsh. No, no good. Ah, you've got company. I'll see you later.
Hawk, what can I do for you?
What was Anders here for?
This is the best tavern in Kirkwall, Hawk. As a favor to you, I put Blondie on my tab. He's got some stories about his days in Ferelden that sound implausible, even to me. He's not bad for a mage. Crazy, but that's most everyone in this city.
Any news in the city I should know about?
Nothing you don't know already. The Viscount's departure, a vacuum of power, troubles brewing. Get rid of one thread and another appears. I'm starting to think this city's in love with Crisis. Hope you're ready for it, my friend. I'm keeping Bianca close.